Not enough drunk posting on JT.
What did I do? No.
What the fuck is that noise she's
what?
making?
No, we are being, baby.
How is she making that noise? Yeah, not enough. Not enough drunk posting on JT. Like, just realise that. Like, you don't see that. You don't see that very often. Weird, right? Weird. That I made homemade elderberry wine, and that shit like fucks you up. Like I felt really drunk, but not from alcohol. Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, what is the science of that? Like, how does that? I think it's some kind of impurities. But I don't know. I had like half a bottle, and I felt like I drank like 1.5 bottles or 2 bottles of wine equivalency. Because I don't drink much, but I can still handle like. I mean, I drank like a lot of this. Like, I drank quite a lot of this last time I was drinking with my cousin, and yes, it gave me a hangover for like 2 or 3 days. But I can drink quite a lot of alcohol and still be functional. But this homemade wine, this elderberry stuff, just wow, wipes me out like half a bottle. Like, and I'm sure it's not the alcohol. Because it took, like, me and my cousin shared like a bottle of red wine or something last time he came around when we were playing the flight simulator, and then I started on this shit. Now this has been in like one of these old cupboards, and these old cupboards are full of formaldehyde. Even after like these are like 30-40 years old or something. These cupboards, they're full of fucking formaldehyde, or still. So I don't know how that's possible, but it probably could seep through the cap into the alcohol, so that could be why I had a hangover for such a long time. Usually I'm good, like I'm usually fine to ride my bike. I'm usually fine to ride my e-bike after I've had like 4 or 5 beers, you know. This is kind of what I was doing like a couple of years ago. Like sometimes I like to play shooter games. I like to play Battlefield when I've had a few drinks, but I don't drink that often. I just I needed to finish my wine today and rack it into the bottles. So I thought I'll try some wine because I'm worried it will go bad. It might go bad, you know, if it's good when it's in the demijohn and then you transfer it into bottles. It can go bad because you've exposed it to air and you've potentially contaminated it. So I wanted to drink straight away, but I feel like I just want to have fun today. Like, I don't feel like working or fixing stuff up or working on new projects or painting I've got to paint my ceiling. Like, I've got some useless shit up here. It's not keeping the rays out enough. It's not good enough. I need to fucking paint it because my brother's got this new girlfriend called Kay, and I've just been like talking to her. I didn't really talk to her much like before now, so I just talking to her a bit. But yeah, they both got phones, so that's one extra phone in the house. So I asked them to go both on Wi-Fi, and they've got on Wi-Fi. But then my dad was up there showing him like degenerate shit on his phone. So started to get a headache. So I said, why don't you guys like come downstairs and go in the living room or something? It won't bother me so much. And then they wanted to cook their dinner, So just I let him have a taste of the wine, and my brother's just said, "Oh, it just tastes like any old red wine," but it doesn't really. It tastes. It has a weird taste to it, and it might be the yeast. It might be a contamination like aldehydes, but there's something fucking weird about the homemade wine that I make, and it really like poisons you. Not poison, but like it toxifies you in a way that like professional alcohol does not. And yeah, I've never gotten honestly, apart from like the first time I ever made wine, I was like 18 or something, and I just made like a small amount, like a liter, and I just kind of like put it in a bottle with like a plastic bottle with like cotton wool on the top or something. I didn't have the professional stuff, and that was one of the best wines I actually made. My detoxification is terrible. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I have a lot of issues with toxins. And I started drinking this stuff called like chlorella, and it's like a seaweed. It's like an algae, and it's supposed to detoxify all your body. And you just drink it, and it sucks all the toxins out. So hopefully I'm good, you know. I've been suffering from mold illness lately, and I've had to do something about it. I switched my air purifier filters, get the air better, and started taking this chlorella stuff, and I feel better, but I'm still very weak detoxification, so I need to be careful about things like drinking alcohol. Like, when food is bad, I can tell. It's been hard to focus in the past this weekend. I need to paint that ceiling. That's, you can see, that's like the only bit I haven't done, is like that tiny bit in the ceiling. This is like a graphene or a graphite paint, which is like electrically conductive, and it supposedly can block EMF signals. And then my curtains have I sewed this fabric onto my curtains, and then I've got like a sheet, like a mesh net curtain made of mesh. This fishing rod helps to keep it straight. And then I've got tinfoil on the windows, more mesh on that window, but both of those windows have like tinfoil all over them. And then this, more recently, I put this thick, strong tinfoil, special tinfoil on this curtain, but not this one yet. But since I did that, there was like a counter attack from my brother, and then he's brought in this new girlfriend, so that's added more. It's added more EMF because she's got a mobile phone as well, and when he's with her, he's less. He's not like being as careful about turning off his mobile data. So I did expect a counter attack there, to be honest, because when I put that tinfoil on, it has. You'd think that this would be enough with the tinfoil. You'd think that would be a pretty good barrier, but I did get a benefit from also adding the tinfoil. So the war against EMF continues. But painting the ceiling black's going to be tricky because the paint's going to like splash all over all my stuff, and possibly this wallpaper, so I've got to be careful. So Yomu Konpaku, I've known about the astrology for a while, and I've been trying to interpret people's astrology for a while. although I'm not really that good at astrology. I wouldn't say I'm good at. I wouldn't say I'm that good at. I don't know that much about it. It's a very complex and expansive topic. I think tarot is the same. You know, there's similarities between these two and crossover between these two things, I think. But yeah, I've been curious, of course, about applying that to the anime girls, and I have been successful to an extent in doing that. There are some anime characters where it's like very obvious what they are. Like Saber is apparently a Virgo. 2B I think is also a Virgo. Katara from Avatar Last Airbender is a Cancer. Yeah, there's quite a few. Rin is like a Leo, which is fairly obvious. Uchiha Sasuke is a Leo with a Scorpio moon and a Capricorn rising. I can't remember what Naruto was. I think he was a Leo or a Sagittarius. I think he's a fire sign. I can't remember. Lelouch v Britannia is Lelouch Ramperucci is Sagittarius, and so is Okabe Rintaro. Hoin Kyoma is the other thing he calls himself. Hoin Kyoma. But it's really Okabe Rintaro. But he's a Sagittarius as well. So is Megumin. Asuka is either a Leo or an Aries, I think. She's obviously one of the fire signs, but I don't know which one. Yeah, there's loads of Reimu. Hakure Reimu is a Virgo, I think. And I think Cerno is a Pisces. Cerno is very obviously a Pisces. But Yomu Kanpaku has eluded classification or deconstruction.
Yumu Konpaku is one of the stranger entities in Gensokyo, part human and part phantom at the same time. Her two halves are not intermixed like one would expect from a crossbreed, but actually exist in physically separate bodies. Yumu commonly wields two blades at once, having studied under her predecessor, Yuki. The longer blade, called Logwensit, Rukanken, Lookout Tower Sword, is said to be able to kill 10 ghosts in one swipe. The shorter blade, Bailochin, Hakuruken, is able to cleave through a person's own confusion. However, not much is known about her particular style of sword fighting, or about her parents. What is known is that Yuki, also a servant of Hakugyokuro, had begun training a very young Yumu, possibly as a child, when he suddenly disappeared one day, leaving her style incomplete and presumably causing her to teach herself. No one currently knows his whereabouts.
So far, she's considered to be a strange character in general, but this is something I was, as a Scorpio type of person, I also have Gemini moon, which makes me biased towards like variety, but as a Scorpio person, there may be more to it than this, but I want to figure out. Well, one thing I want to know, for example, is can you write a character that doesn't equate, doesn't relate at all with with a normal person, like with a real person, you know. I probably assumed that like anime characters were completely unrealistic and fantastical, and therefore they wouldn't have many like real world parallels. You'd probably assume that. You wouldn't assume they'd have direct real world parallels, but with this astrology stuff, like that's kind of proving that it's wrong, you know, it's wrong. So it's interesting. You know, if a person's behavior and thought patterns and stuff is kind of dictated by astrology and other things, does that mean a fictional character has to obey the same rules, or could you have a personality in fiction that isn't possible to exist in the real world? This is the kind of stuff that occupies my mind throughout my life that I don't really discuss with many people. And there's like loads of examples of that, but I can't remember them. Like, but I'll go very deep on like different topics. Just speculation. It's obviously partly like autism related as well, but yeah, I do wonder about well, this is just one example, but so that's why we are going to look. That's why I started looking into her yesterday again, to see if I could figure it out, because before I thought about it and I thought she might be a Scorpio, but she doesn't. Reminds me of a Scorpio, but she doesn't seem like vengeful enough. She seems to have like a light-hearted vibe or disposition, kind of a light-hearted disposition, but she's definitely like moody and unpredictable, and I don't know if she is intense, but she's not as calculating and strategic. She's not like calculating, and she doesn't have like she doesn't seem to have a sort of a dark preoccupation with dark things. I don't get that sense from her. So that made it difficult for me to figure it out. I think I might have considered before that she might have been a Cancer, but I couldn't really see how it fitted, and I didn't even consider that she might be a Pisces. As a warrior, you'd think she might be a fire sign, but it doesn't really. Nothing really fitted. And she also reminded me a bit of Akiyama Mio, who I believe is a Capricorn. So, from what I've researched, seemed to be a Capricorn. And that wasn't another girl that I used to like, but she kind of have similarities. There's a kind of a similarity between the two of them. So I did consider that Yomi might be a Capricorn, which might tie into her interest in the gardening. She does seem quite grounded in that sense. She doesn't seem like a fire. She doesn't seem like a fire sign, and she definitely doesn't seem like an air sign. She's not like intellectual at all, which is fairly obvious. So kind of fire, water, earth would be my guess. A little bit of fire, but mostly earth and water. But I couldn't really pin it down beyond that. So yesterday I basically tried using the tarot to help me, and it's another sort of thing that wondered, is it possible? Isn't it possible? You kind of feel like it shouldn't be possible to analyze a fictional character in that way with the tarot, because it's just a fantasy character. It's just something someone's created. It doesn't tie into the real world. But I think I've probably tried it before and it worked, to my surprise. So I tried it again, and yeah, it does seem to work. So I got some interesting information from that, which helped me trying to decode the character. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
That plane. Yes! We've been wide open!
We are prodigal souls, vagabonds wandering through a hell we've mistaken for home. We are fallen stowaways and meandering rogues forced against the current by wicked winds to piracy and plunder, tattered sails on sinking ships. On every tide we seek new shores, mariners of the oversoul, destined for islands beyond this wine-dark sea. Accept this contract, and you accept its conditions. While living in the world of humans, you will live unlike any other. A different providence, a different time, a different life. The power of the king will isolate you. A convergence with the Ragnarok connection? So the myth is beginning once again?